Centurions has been crazy so far, and I already have leaked cards for next week's promo, which is insane. But our out-of-pack investments like Griezmann, and even our fodder cards like Conte have already gone up in price. But I also made a pretty big mistake on the account today, and hopefully I don't lose too many coins. Welcome to Trading to Glory. If you're looking for cheap and safe EAFC 24 coins, look no further than u4gm.com and use my code ELYT, ELYYT, for 5% off at checkout. Fridays are normally a pretty crazy day on the market, but today we saw a lot of people panic selling a card that was already out of packs, like Griezmann, who got down to about 110 to 112,000 coins, and there was not much reason for it, given the fact that it was on the way up and was going to continue rising. So instead of me trying to flip Centurions cards, I decided I'm just going to put a bunch more coins into Griezmann at 112,000 coins. So that's what I did. I went out and bought a ton more Griezmann. And so as we now have 12 Antoine Griezmann cards on our transfer list plus our club, we're now making probably over 200,000 coins on just Griezmann alone, because if you take a look at his total price now, his card has gone up from 112K all the way to 135,000 coins in just a few hours. And he's probably going to go a little bit higher over the next 48 hours, so I'm probably going to hold a little bit longer as well. But I also made a pretty big mistake. While I was picking up Griezmann, I was like, you know what? Let's put some coins into some inform cards, as Frimpong has dropped in price to 120,000 coins. And he dropped pretty sharp, all the way from 140 to 120K and less. And unfortunately, this Frimpong card, despite rising initially, has not continued rising. And now I'm losing coins. Not only am I losing about 5K after tax, I'm also losing about 7 to 10K per card, which makes it 10 to 15K per card on a loss if I were to sell right now, which almost negates most of our Griezmann profit, which is not a good look for the trade into glory. But hey, we're going to take some L's. But here's the deal. We want to make sure that we take the least amount of L possible on this move. And if we take a look at Frimpong, we can see that I bought right about there. He actually dropped to about 120, 115 even at his lowest point, before rising to about 127 to 130K. I should have obviously sold there. And he dropped throughout the day to 105K. Now, he has rebounded a little bit over the last couple of hours, which is very nice to see, and hopefully he keeps going, because I have like 10 of them. So every single 1,000 coins he rises, I make 10,000 coins back. So hopefully he keeps going. But if we take a look at last week and any cards in the previous team of the weeks, we'll see that they hit a low point on Friday or Saturday. And even though we bought a little bit early, we can see that there's a little bit of a rebound as we exit the weekend. It's not much, but it does go up on Monday. So this might be a card that I pick up and just hold on to until Monday and then sell these cards on. Maybe if we take a look at some of the other cards from previous team of the weeks like Raheem Sterling, we'll start to see a similar trend where they hit a low point on the Friday and then they rebound into the end of the week. Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday, as he exits packs, even higher in price. And so there's a couple of different spikes, possibly after squad battle rewards on Sunday as well, is something to look out for. So I'm going to hold on to these cards, and then if they peak a little bit higher than normal on any point of the day over the next couple of days, I'll go ahead and sell and take as minimal of a loss as possible. But what I want to stress here is that even though I did make a bad move, I did not panic sell at 105K. We're going to hold and take a smaller loss than we would have. We're probably going to take a loss nonetheless, and if we get lucky enough, we can make some profit on that card, but I think it's going to take a heck of a lot to make some profit on that card. We're going to need some sort of Bundesliga miracle link if we're going to make that card go back up to 130,000 coins. But boys, we've got some 86 rated fodder as well, which is looking good. And anybody else who got in on fodder during marquee matchup supply or during the Friday panic supply, we're actually making some good coins, because the 86 rated cards are actually up to about 11.5 thousand coins. That's not too bad. And then we're looking at 85s at 6K. Those are still honestly a decent investment right now. 87s at 16.75 thousand coins. 86s have gone up from 10,000 coins, which we got them for, all the way to 12,000. So that's to recap everything that we did on Friday, which I promised that I would do at the beginning of today's episode. But now we've got to talk about what leaks are coming and what do we need to buy over the next couple of days. Let's hop in. Centurions team number 1 only dropped with 9 players in the squad. Simon, I don't know why they put you on the bench because they definitely could have fit you up here, but only 9 players plus the icons. But there's so many more leaked cards that we know of already that are going to come in this promo as well. If we take a look at it, we've obviously got Lacazette right there. We have Thiago Silva. If we scroll across, we've got Marta, Felipe Anderson, and then we've got Dunk. Mudryk is coming as an SBC, and Ryerson also coming to the promo from Borussia Dortmund. Now, we also have one more big boy coming to the promo, which is Kevin De Bruyne, and a lot of people are making a big mistake, and I want to clear this up so you guys don't lose any coins on Fridays or Wednesdays anymore with new cards. Kevin De Bruyne is going to be in the new promo, so we're going to expect him. And a lot of people are going out and they're buying, okay, let's buy Kyle Walker. It's a great link. Let's buy Ruben Diaz, Trailblazer. It's a great link to this Kevin De Bruyne. Let's buy Erling Haaland. But realistically, boys, that's not a good investment because this Kevin De Bruyne is going to be tradable. And when it's a tradable card, a lot of people aren't going to have this card. Think about how many people would pack this. Think about how many people can afford it. And even those that can afford it, how many are going to buy it? And then how many that buy that card are going to link it with the card you invested in? Realistically, it's not going to go up in price very much. And if we take a look at one of the examples of this, we can look at Talisca from the Team of the Week that went up in price so much just because people were hyped about Trailblazers Cristiano Ronaldo, who also plays for Al Nassr. This card went from 14,000 coins all the way up to 22,000 on the day that Cristiano Ronaldo got leaked. He stayed at 23,000 until the day that Cristiano Ronaldo was released, and then magically dropped. I don't know what happened. What could have possibly happened? Maybe only 5 people had Cristiano Ronaldo linked to Talisca in their team? Of course that was going to crash. So any investments you're making for tradable cards are not going to work all that well. But we obviously just talked about that Mudryk. Mudryk is going to be an SBC. Michaela Mudryk as an SBC could potentially get a link to one card in particular. And if we throw Mudryk at left wing, which is where he plays generally and where he's probably going to get that Centurion card, the only link that really makes sense is Raheem Sterling. And I know a lot of people have been burnt by that card in the past, but realistically it is the only real link with Chelsea and Premier League that actually makes sense. If you look through the rest of the squad, the only links that we can really find with Mudryk are going to be really crappy cards like Zinchenko and Chilwell. They're not really going to be very good links. So that is something that maybe you could consider if that Mudryk comes out and is actually good value. But one thing you also have to remember is that we're not going to see a lot of rise on the market for the gold metas. A lot of the market is dropping in November. We've already seen a little bit of a drop on Friday with the panic. Not to say it won't recover a little bit this weekend, but overall, we're looking at a graph that is going down. Now, it might have some peaks and continue to go down, which we have to time very well, but overall, most cards are going to go down. So it's going to be much tougher to make coins in November than it was in October. So a lot of this is got to be playing defense, guys. You got to play a little bit of defense and lose less coins than other people if you're making investments that just don't work out. And that's what I'm doing with my Frimpong right now. Now, we did see a couple of evolutions yesterday, and you actually saw me looking at Pedro Neto just a second ago, because Pedro Neto went extinct at 10,000 coins, and a lot of cards did go extinct at 10,000 coins. Pedro Neto went to 10,000 coins. We also saw players like Llorente go to 10,000 coins. We saw Garnacho go to 10,000 coins. Tchouaméni rose a little bit. Bamba is extinct at 10,000 coins. There's so many cards that have gone up because of these new evolutions. Most specifically, the Centurions box-to-box midfielder, which gives you a huge boost on already pretty high-rated cards, like Llorente, who's already 84, or Fishlock, for example. I don't think too many people are using her for 150,000 coins, but that's the example EA decided to give us. A lot of people going out and doing this, which also helps our Griezmann investment because Llorente is at Atletico Madrid, and more people that do Llorente for the Centurions box-to-box midfielder might need to link them with that Griezmann. So that could help our investment out of packs over the next couple of days, but I digress. One thing I have to point out is because we are seeing a lot of people get banned and coin wiped because they're investing for Evos. They might be buying a lot of these Pedro Netos when they're 500 coins and then selling them on for 10,000. And if you buy 20 of those, EA decide you're probably selling or buying coins, and so you should be banned because they don't understand their own market and their system is broken. And here I am trying to tell you guys that it's probably not worth investing in some of these cards. Sure, Llorente going from 5 to 10K, you're probably going to be all right. But when you look at cards like Pedro Neto or especially silver cards, you might be at risk. And unfortunately, for a guy named Kiko, who I've been following on Twitter and on Twitch as he live streams as well, not to 1,000, 2,000 viewers, unfortunately for him, because then he'd have connections at EA to actually get this fixed. Unfortunately for him, he's just got to suck it up, and he's never going to get those 2.5 million coins back that he earned on his road to glory. So he's just losing all of that. And the reason for that is because he invested in cards like Sutar and several others for the evolutions that came out a few days ago, sold them for like 9,000 coins, and EA decided that's an extortionate price. People would never pay 8.8K without realizing they were the ones who made that price go up in the first place. So, guys, even though it is not your fault, even though it is completely on EA, I want you to be very careful with how you trade with evolutions because it could put you at risk of getting banned. Not rightfully so, but here's the thing. Even if you go appeal and beg to EA and tell them it's just the evolutions that were going up, it's not going to help. Most of the time, you're going to talk to a bot, again, that's not actually going to check your case. And even if you do somehow get a real-life EA employee, do you really think they're going to be smart enough to understand the market as well as you or anybody who plays the game does? Of course not. So just be careful because I feel like a lot more people are going to get hit with coin wipes or bans when they absolutely didn't deserve to. So just don't let that be you. Let's hop in to Fodder as we are going to see a max 87 hero SBC once again hitting the market. The first time it dropped was a big hit. It actually pushed Fodder up a decent amount. Of course, it came with the Rodrigo SBC. We already had Son and Leao from Player of the Month. So the Fodder market went up a good bit that weekend, and we might see the same thing again. It focused on 86, 87s on the requirements, but 88s and 89s also went up a ton. So if you're invested in Fodder, this could actually push it up. We're expecting this to drop on Sunday again, as that's when they've been dropping these SBCs this year. And last year in FIFA 23, they dropped them on Monday, but so far this year, the trend is Sunday, so I think that's when we should probably expect it. It seems that my patience for Jeremy Frimpong is paying off as he's up to 114 now. I pray that he continues to go up. But let's take a look at some more Team of the Week and Centurion cards, and let's try to predict when should we buy. I'm looking at players like Griezmann and Goretzka, and I think Saturday is a good day. I don't think that they're going to get lower later in the weekend, and I think they'll probably rise Monday, Tuesday, as we've seen for most Team of the Week so far. Griezmann, of course, already has an 89 rated card, but one thing you have to consider is that Finesse Shot Plus is going to be a big factor on that card. This card, as a non-Finesse Shot Plus play style on this 89 Trailblazer, just a little bit cheaper, not by a lot. Now, one thing you do have to consider, guys, is that I would sell before Wednesday. I wouldn't hold past Wednesday because we're going to see gold cards drop a ton in price during this month. And if this 88 rated gold Griezmann drops in price starting on Wednesday and continues to drop, then these cards will follow because there's going to be too much of a gap between what they'd pay for the gold card versus what they'd pay for the inform. Of course, it's only like a +1 or +2 on most of the stats. As you can see, it's +1 or +2 on all of the stats. And so is it really worth paying this much more as it is? You could argue no. But if that 88 rated card were to go to 50,000 coins, which it probably will over the course of November, then this 89 rated inform card is going to come down quite significantly as well. So I'd sell by Tuesday at the very latest if you're going to invest pretty much in any of these Team of the Week cards, Goretzka, Frimpong, or any of the others as well, like Openda is another decent meta card to go with. Centurion cards are inevitably going to have more opportunity to make coins on, but I'm probably not going to focus on them. Now, we did call Gayoro when we were live streaming on Twitch yesterday for about 300K. She rose to 340 very quickly afterwards. There are those spikes that you can time pretty well, but overall, I don't think this is going to be a promo that I mess with all that much in comparison to just focusing on the RTTKs a little bit longer. All of these cards that have gotten upgraded, like Lewandowski and Modric and a couple of the others, are going to also get another upgrade most likely. So that hype of the extra upgrade is going to continue to keep these cards in demand. Am I going to hold until that next upgrade? Absolutely not. And that upgrade will come on the Friday after they get clinched for getting out of the group stage. So once they get into the knockout rounds by clinching first or second place in their group, that Friday will be when they get an upgrade. And you want to sell before that, because once that happens, they're going to come down in price quite significantly, because then all that hype kind of dies and you're just sitting there maybe with a good card, but most of the demand is gone and a lot of supply will hit the market all at once. So Modric, he went up to 92. He could go up to 93 if Real Madrid get out of their group. I will say when Real Madrid get out of their group. Lewandowski, he's gone up in price a decent bit yesterday after the hype of the upgrade. He's coming back down now, and you might be able to reinvest in a card like that. And for the most part, you can probably still get in on some of these. Everybody is really, really worried about, oh, well, I didn't get in at the best price. I didn't get in at the perfect time. Don't worry about it. If they're going to keep going up, there's no shame in getting in on certain investments if they're going to continue to rise. Now, one thing that I would consider before investing is that we do have a week and a half before their next matches. So you probably have until the end of the weekend to just chill and probably pick these up a little bit later where they're probably not going to move a ton. Now, as we get closer to those matches in a week and a half, then these cards will start moving, and that's when you want to be already invested. So maybe keep these on your radar. Don't go in on them right away. Maybe wait till the end of the weekend. Maybe wait even until later in the week. You'll probably still be able to get some deals. But that's probably where my focus is going to be, on making coins later this week rather than in FUT Centurions. That's going to be it for today's, guys. That was a long episode for a trade into glory. So if you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and just type long episode hype. I couldn't think of anything more creative than that. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you so much again. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.